Okay. All right. So our wives asked us to do a skit about 2 hours ago on imagine that, the honey-do list. I guess it continues to grow even at the practicum. So here we go. So Derek, we're just going to chat a little bit about what our kids are, what we've seen and with our kids and kind of the differences and how we are now even more the low men on the totem pole at home. The wives and us. So yeah, right down there. So very cool. Well, Derek, tell me, man, what's going on?
Well, a few years ago, my wife, we went to a meeting up in, might have been Melbourne. It was either Melbourne or Satellite. And I guess they were talking about starting the classical conversations up there. I guess there'd been some interest, but no one was wanted to start it up. And my wife was absolutely not the type who's going to run anything or do anything. That's just not her. Yes, but I tried to say, well, you just need to step up and do it. She's like, oh, I don't want to do it. You know, I said, I'll help you. If you need any help, I'm going to do it. Of course, I didn't do anything other than say that. That's the only thing I did. So you know, she took it. I mean, I helped her a little bit, you know, set up and do some things, but she really dove into it and you know, started the one in Melbourne. I think some of you are from there. And then she came down here to start it up down here. But the biggest thing is I heard someone talking earlier about, you know, like the hands-off approach. I'm definitely like, yeah, that's cool. Do that. That sounds awesome. You know, I'm just kind of, you know, just leave me out of it kind of thing. Like you take care of the homeschooling. But it's kind of shifted from there, you know, from when it started, just because going to these meetings and listening to this stuff, it's really interested me. Like normally, school is never my thing. You know, I was telling him earlier, I was in school, like when's recess, you know, when's batting practice. That was kind of like my idea of school was I had to be there so I could qualify to play in the sports. And then, you know, like when you go to a movie and a lot of people say, "Oh, the book was better," and I'm always like, you know, the best part about the movie, and they're like, "What?" And I say, "No reading." So, you know, I was one of those, and this program really has changed me because now I've had to kind of read a lot more.
Be that example.
Try to be an example and to keep up, you know, I don't want to be, you know, JT's 11, he knows like 10 times as much as me. When they start doing that timeline, you really feel dumb. You know, you know what I'm saying? And then also driving around back and forth, helping her with the Melbourne every week and listening to those CDs. Like that. After a while, you know, but it starts creeping in your head. You know, what was it? The taxes, slavery, unemployment, right? See, I have these things that go in my head. You know, the fall of Rome, whatever that's all, right? So I mock it, but it's in my head. You know, so these are the kind of things. The biggest thing was when I went to the meeting, and the first time I saw somebody draw the mat freehand. Anybody saw that? I was pretty hooked on there. That really really impressed me. But the things that happen, just being being in this the last few years, is just how the kids, how they're learning, and then the questions are a lot different now than when they were in school, and the conversation's a little different. Now, we came from Masters Academy, which is the local school here, which is a classical approach school. Similar, but not quite the same. And again, I was telling them, I used to have to take my son in about a half hour early to school, take him out in the parking lot, and start chucking frisbees or footballs, so he could, you know, kind of run it out of the system, because you put him in a regular classroom, and you got to do this, this, and this. The one thing about the homeschooling, this system, is you can really kind of go a little more into stuff that they know. They can take it, and they can run with it. You know, it's not, got to move on to the next thing. It's not as, it's a little freer, if you will, and it's geared towards his way of learning, which I sort of wish when I was growing up, because that's why I was in there. Like, I'm a visual. That's why I don't like to read and do all those things. I'm that visual. I hear something, I got it. I see it, I've got it. You tell me to read something, I can't do it. I'll give you an example. I'm in church. I can't take notes because then I just missed the 10 minutes of what he just said. You know, if I want to take notes, I got to listen to it again, take notes. So, but you know, what? You know, that's so. You know, there's different ways to learn it, but I really like how it's geared towards the level. You know, I'm a coach, and I try to tell parents this all the time. Like, you can't teach a major league swing to a 10-year-old. His body's just not going to do it. He can only learn this. His brain can only process certain things. You have to get that base. Then we can add things as they go on. You can't, you know, and I try to equate it to them. You're not going to teach trigonometry to a 10-year-old. You got to start at basic math and build on it. And that's pretty much how everything is in life, except for nowadays everybody wants everything. So I really like how they build the base here and build everything up. And plus just all the people involved in it are really great. You know? And you know, the funniest thing is I always have these conversations with my kids, and they're like, "Dad, you don't know that? You don't know that?" You know, they're so smart now, right? So they read off these things. Oh, you didn't know that? I'm like, no. I can dunk a basketball. What can you do? You know, that's not my only response. So now I got to start reading, and like we got these lamplighter books. I don't know if you ever got those. Those are, you know, I've been reading some of those. I probably read more books in the last year than I read in the previous 42 years. Which I'm not going to give you the number because it's not that impressive from either way. So,